You're being hard on her.
It's Christine Baranski in The Good Wife. She joins me now along with co-star Alan Cumming. Welcome to both of you.
Hello.
So this is what I love about this particular moment of the show, because you've been married very contentedly to one man for the last 30 years.
27.
27 years.
I was counting
But the perfect personification of a long-lasting, happy, monogamous marriage. You, Alan.
I knew you were going there.
You, unless I'm wrong, were once quoted as saying, I don't believe monogamy is feasible.
Yes.
And have been married to a woman and to a man.
Not at the same time, though.
Well, that's the only complication that could have made this more interesting. So, come on then, let's discuss monogamy for a moment, because your show is littered with the opposite of monogamy. Everyone's at it. Let's have the monogamy debate. You go first.
Me? Well...
Why is monogamy not feasible?
I don't... As a man...
Such a glittering example sitting right next to you.
As a man, I don't feel that my gender is particularly attuned to being monogamous. I don't think as an animal, as a male animal, I don't think we are meant to be monogamous.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, you can get away with that.
I don't see like you're so surprised. Like,
how would your girlfriend treat you coming back home one day and saying, I'm an animal and I can't be monogamous?
Such loaded questions.
Wow, Piers.
What do you
How
think?
about Arsenal's playing on Saturday, you said, right?
but I don't think it's like... Look, our show is based on a lack of monogamy. The whole notion for our show, that so much of art, so much of stuff you talk to people across this table about is about the fact that monogamy isn't working. And I don't... You know what the biggest thing I think is? It's not about the fact that monogamy isn't feasible. It's that we don't think that, you know, sexual infidelity, we think that's the worst betrayal. And actually, I think there are much worse ways you can betray your partner than that.
Do you? Like what?
Like betraying them in friendship, or betraying their trust. And we're so conditioned...
cheating on them, betraying their trust.
Yes, but if you were to think about this way, that, you know, hey, it's a physical thing, it's a desire that we have, and we can't, you know, if you're kind with it, then maybe it's going to be okay. And I think if we as a culture were conditioned to think that's something, maybe, like in France, maybe it happens, maybe we deal with it in a way and we brush it into a place that we're all able to let it disperse and be okay with, then maybe we would be able to have happier lives.
Christine?
I think a big factor is when you have children and you're raising a family, staying together. I think the greatest gift Matthew and I gave our kids was staying together and working things out. And, you know, it can be really hard, and you endlessly shifting your weight. But we have 2 grown daughters, and they seem to be both in wonderful relationships. And so it isn't even a question of monogamy or not monogamy. It's like, this really makes sense, just to make this work.
So do you understand
feels good
why
because it
Juliana's
makes your children happy.
Do you understand why her character then would stand by her man?
Yes,
because
in fact,
of the kids?
you asked Juliana about the women who stand by their men instead of deserting them, and I think a big factor, for instance, Silda, she had 2 daughters of an age to really know what was going on. I think she probably just, you know, closed ranks and said, we're going to get through this as a family with as much dignity as we can, rather than talk to the press, make a dramatic exit, whatever. You notice that woman just got very quiet and dignified. I saw her at an event, and she was just so beautifully dignified. And I think she did that for her kids.
There's also the worry that if that happens, your hair will change. Because I don't know if you've realised that in the new season of The Good Wife, since there's been change in Juliana's character, a certain change.
Oh, well, I have
something
noticed this.
Her hair has changed as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm hearing you saying it with your hair currently in a slightly alarming condition itself. So, I mean, I'm not quite sure you're the one to be dishing out hair advice, but...
It's not advice, it's merely observance. Like, basically, on television, if you get some action, you get a different hairdo.
That is very
observant.
What I love about your character is apparently it's based on Rahm Emanuel, right?
Yeah,
who was the former White House chief of staff for Barack Obama. And Eli Gold is in The Good Wife. And, of course, the link is that Ari Gold from the Entourage is based on Ari Emanuel, who's Rahm's brother.
It's all recycling.
It's a horrible, evil little axis.
Don't you just feel for the other brothers? There's that Zeke one who's...
Who's the one who... Yeah, who's the one who's been left out? He hasn't got any TV show.
I think that must be awful.
So your character's wonderful in this.
Or amazing.
Do you think he's inherently an evil person?
No. Not at all. No, he's got a softness to him. He's got a humour to him, and he's got.
Has he though? Wouldn't he, in the end, do anything for political gain?
Yes, but he's still got a chink in his armour.
Does he have a moral compass, though?
Yes, it's just kind of slanted a little further.
But also this season, you're going to see him. Parker Posey plays his ex-wife.
Yeah, she's
really
my ex-wife.
And you get to see a whole different side of him, which is really exciting for him.
See, you're fascinating. You have got an ex-wife.
In real life?
Yeah. And in real life, you've also recently gone through a civil partnership.
I have a husband.
You have a husband?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's unusual. Talk to me about
that. What would you like to know, Piers?
I don't know, whatever you think I should know.
Well, just things change.
I saw them kissing at the Emmys. They were sitting in
Did
front
you
of
really?
me. Yeah, after you lost.
Oh, MFG.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He gave me a conciliatory snog.
Because you've always given wonderful interviews over the years. You know, you came out as a bisexual and said, you know, yeah, I like women and men.
Yeah, yes, I do, and I think...
Are you sure now you're on the right side of the fence?
Yeah, I am.
Yourself.
I mean...
Yeah? I mean, on set, are there any difficult moments with these attractive ladies? I mean,
do you mean Jules and Christine? I'm not going to break up my marriage for either of you, I'm sorry. Josh, maybe.
But you might break up your marriage for my husband.
Maybe yours, yeah, maybe Keith.
What do you think of all these...
Saturday night.
What do you think of all these politicians, talking of politics, who, on the Tea Party side of the Republicans, are coming out saying same-sex marriage is disgusting, it can't happen?
Well, I think, you know, there's America is this country full of such hatred in terms of politics, and the politics of hate is so rampant. And now the only kind of minority that can really be dealt with in that way is the gay population. So it kind of makes sense. But of course, I just think I think it's awful. I think that the Tea Party have some some quite sensible notions, actually, when on paper. Also, that kind of seems to be an umbrella thing that just covers up a lot of real homophobia and racism.
Most of America's moved past it. I really do.
I do too.
I get the sense they're moving past it. I don't think they're moved past it.
I just think the Tea Party is out of touch with America, actually. That's the sad thing for them to have to come to terms with.
Let's have a quick break, come back and talk about the new season of The Good Wife. I want to know all the gory details. What can we look forward to? Including the ongoing debate about whether there is any butt action on Sunday. Because if there is, I'm watching it.
You didn't read about it unless you subscribed to the Israel National News. 2 days later, an Israeli woman gave birth in a Palestinian hospital. Where did you read it? AP, CBS News, every major paper. Google it. Go ahead. This is a PR war, and they are winning.
Michael, I do not go to your house and tell you what novels to write. I do not go to your committee and tell you what lobbyists to hire.
That was Alan Cumming and The Good Wife. The show's season premiere is this Sunday night on CBS at 9 p.m. Back with me now, Juliana Margulies, Josh Charles, Christine Baranski and Alan Cumming. Got to read you this tweet. You'll love this, Christine. Christine Baranski is just too classy. I can't handle it half the time. I am loving her on this segment.
I knew there was a reason I wanted to do your
Too classy for your own good.
Classiest Buffalo Bills fan that you've ever met.
I'm from Buffalo, from the Polish neighborhood in Buffalo. Josh and I talk about football.
Yeah.
How about those Bills?
I don't even know what you're talking about. We've already discussed-
Buffalo Bills,
I'm a soccer
2-0.
fan.
This is American football.
Buffalo Bills, whatever. Let's get back to The Good Wife.
The Good Wife.
There's only one type of football, and it doesn't involve helmets. Now, let's talk about The Good Wife. I need some juicy bones to lob on this barbecue tonight, because we want them all tuning in on Sunday. So,
Well, they have to come out of the hotel room, right?
Exactly.
They gotta come.
Yeah.
And
Do
they gotta
you
go down the
guys
elevator.
realise what's happened? When do you realise they're at it?
Well, that's an interesting
There's a lot of suspicion. It's still, I would say it's still, I mean, duh, for the story and the tension, we don't know for a while. Do you know what I mean? The whole season, last season, was about, are they going to get together?
Oh, it was
This
unbearable. I was willing them into that hotel room.
Yeah, no, this one's like, who's going to find
My
out
favorite
when?
question, though, from people on the street is, so what happened when you closed the door? We held hands and drank wine.
So are you confirming unequivocally that sex took place?
She's got a new hairdo.
Yeah, I mean, I think any adult who goes to a hotel, what was it, $7,800 for the night?
But you know that...
I mean, you're not going to sit there for $7,800
Have you ever
and just
done that?
hold
Well,
hands.
he's not going to waste that kind of money, is
No.
my sense.
He's
not
much
his
too
character.
smart for that.
Married lady, she could have chickened
We also had
out.
been drinking.
Will is what you call a closer.
I think you have to put alcohol into the picture, too.
Yeah.
And
Mariana
she
Rivera.
really hasn't had any
Oh my
in
God,
2
she's
years.
gagging.
She hasn't. She's been waiting a long, long time for
That's
this.
the haircut.
It's been like a smouldering volcano.
No, of course.
Her hair just actually curled at the moment.
just got-
orgasm because it's waiting so long.
Have
was
you,
happy
have you
for
all
her.
seen the first episode?
No.
No.
Do you all get together for a good wife party?
We're
What
gonna
goes
see
on?
it on
We're going to
Sunday.
actually, Alan and Julianne and I are going to live tweet Sunday
Sunday.
night from Julianne's apartment.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But usually, I don't have a telly, so I don't actually see it. I just watch it on the internet, interweb afterwards.
But let's just say, in terms of the show, the fact that Peter Florrick got reelected, this is happening. And we don't have to give anything away in terms of the plot, but this affects the internal office.
Also-
you know, the
Right. You know
Terra
what? Leave it
Firma.
on a cliffhanger.
But also, he's in the...
Truly.
Now,
I'm in the office.
Eli's in the office, and his office
Enough.
looks
You're
into
giving
my
too
office.
much away. Leave it as a cliffhanger. That's brilliant. Thank you all so much.
Thank you
I
for
love
having
the
us.
show. I love you all. I can't wait. Sunday, 9 p.m.